What's up, Beardbrand? We're at Gentleman Rose Club, Birmingham. We're cutting Matt's hair and beard today. I suggest we go for maybe a short crop. Reason being is, I think it's going to do your hairline some favours. Yeah. So we'll take, where it's kind of thinning through the recession areas here, we'll take some of that hair and we'll put a nice kind of crop cut in there. Nice high skin fade. I think if you keep the skin fade high, it's going to kind of accentuate what you got left on the top. Okay, brother? Yeah, let's go for it. Sweet. So to start with, we are going to put in a horseshoe section. I'm going to take a section from the crown across. I'm going to separate the hair on the top of the head and the hair on the back of the head. And then we're going to take a line just above the parietal ridge, all the way to the recession area. Separate the hair on the top from the hair on the sides. Some people like to put like a circular motion or a V in the back, but I'd like to keep it nice and square. Same on this side. Helps now at this point to have the client in the mirror, because you're going to use this side as a guide. So I'm going to look to where Matt's parting is there. I'm going to take the same section on this side. And we're going to drop that down. And we're going to separate the hair on top from the hair on the side again. And then we've got a nice clean section. We're looking to marry that up now. Take that one section there. I can see now there's some symmetry on there. May need to go just ever so slightly deeper into that hair. Knows me well. Right, that's a nice look, mate.
Beautiful.
What's the little girl out of Flintstones?
I was thinking more Moomins.
More what? Moomins?
Yeah.
I'm going to just lie that back over because it's in the way there. Okay, so we're going to take out our first section. We're going to put in the number 2. It's going to be the top of our fade. Matt's hair's long, but it's not too long that I can not see what I'm doing, basically. That's going to be the top of my fade. This is the first line. It's going to start at the top line of your canvas.
How do you figure out where you're setting your fade up?
There's a number of factors, mate. Bone structure, head shape, preference. Somebody says I want a high fade, a medium fade, a low fade. If someone says you want a low fade, you're not going to start up here, you know. But there's lots of different factors that can determine that, and everyone will do it differently as well. So it's probably good to mention at the moment that you're doing a barbering course, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
So Matt's doing a barbering course. How far are you into that now?
6 months into it.
Okay, so he's 6 months in. So he's probably just getting all the theory down now and about to start the practical.
Yeah,
all right?
Learning all my contraindications.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. We're going to be just taking. We can always alter this at a later date. We're just removing the bulk, but I don't want to go too high with the 2, obviously, because I can't see the shape of his head at the moment. So if I use the magic clip just to take out the bulk, I can then adjust where I want the fade to sit.
It was a number 2 all over when it was little.
Yeah, so you have had short hair at some point, yeah. Number 2 all over, that's a classic.
Yeah.
You go and get your hair cut every 2 weeks. Yeah, or do it yourself at home, yeah. Okay, now we've got rid of some of the bulk. We can start to clean up what's below it. Right, now I'm going to start paying more attention to this top line. So I want to neaten this up a little bit. Using the comb to pull the hair into the clipper. What new music have you got for me, Matt? Normally when you visit me, mate. You did send me something on YouTube, but I haven't had a chance to check it.
I think that was Grizz.
Was it?
Yeah, it's like a funky dubstep.
Grizz.
Grizz.
Okay.
Oh, good, man.
Yeah, check them out. So we've got magic clip, no guard, and we're going to take it. We're just going to offset it ever so slightly. This is so it doesn't leave an imprint. It's easier to blend out. Now I don't want a really smooth fade on this. I actually want a shadow fade. I want it to kind of burst a little bit and be into a compressed area. Reason being is it's high, so I want to keep as much weight through the crown really as I can, and I want to keep a bit of shape on the sides, so I could blend it out and take a 3 all the way up here, but it's not the look I want to go for. Switch to a detailer. We've got the wild cordless detailer here. It's pretty sick, enjoying it. And we're going to be removing some bulk up to this weight line. And we're going just below where we put the 0 with the wild cordless. The reason being is that if you take it too high there, your blend's not going to be as smooth. Tilt ever so slightly down for me, Matt. It's great. I'm really looking forward to see what the fringe looks like on this. Okay, we're going to switch back to the cordless magic clip now. Where I've got a little bit of weight through here with the 0, I'm just going to make sure that I'm blending up that line from the detailer. This is a Keep V12 Supercharged, I think it's called. It's really good for getting rid of bulk, it's very good for thick hair as well. So I'm just going to use a clipper comb, and I'm just going to create a nice ridge, removing some weight. Just helps things now. So you're enjoying your course then?
Yeah, I love it, mate.
That's good, mate.
I love it.
2 nights a week?
Yeah, Monday, Tuesdays.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what I did actually. On nights, the night course?
Yeah.
It's looking different already, mate. Seeing a transformation. Okay, so now we've cleared a bit of bulk out, we can look at the symmetry of the 0 line. That's something I should have done at an early step, but I couldn't really see what I was doing with all that hair. So I can kind of just tidy up a little bit here now. It was a rough line that I put in earlier. It's nice because you can kind of adjust that at any time, as long as you don't start fading. Okay, so we've got some good symmetry there now. We're going to put 0.5 in, and we're going to be flicking out. So I want to take a section that's about, I don't know, 2 centimeters, and that is going to create a nice base for the fade. And we're going to dip it down a little bit at the front. We're going to keep it nice and even all the way through. This is actually one of the hardest bits, I'd say, for fade. Apart from knocking out lines. Because you're trying to keep that same band width all the way around. And if you take it too high, it means your fade's got to move higher. So we've got 0.25 now. So the clipper is half closed, and I'm just going to be, again, flicking out on that line, removing the weight. Matt's got quite fair hair, which makes it a little bit easier for me. Obviously dark hair on a light scalp makes it a lot harder to blend. Have you found that at college?
No, not yet.
Oh, you will find that at college. You'll find that out, dude. So basically light hair on a light scalp,
Yeah, because of the colour.
it's just so much easier to blend, yeah. Whereas when you get someone coming in, they've got thick black hair.
Pale skin.
Yeah, and a really pale skin, yeah, you're like, ah, it's gonna be a nightmare. But the fade looks really nice. It just means it's your hair, mate, yeah, exactly your hair, yeah. But it just means more work, that's all it means.
See the fade better, don't you?
Yeah, you see the fade pops, it blurs a bit more. But it does mean it's probably gonna take you an extra 30 minutes at the end of the day. Right, now, we've been working at the bottom of our fade, and we're going to go at the top of the fade now and start removing between the 2 and the 0. So we're going to go to the very top of the fade and start flicking out, and we're going to work down the guards. And we're going to arc it as well as we come around the corner. And as we drop through the guard, you'll start to see all this weight at the bottom disappearing. And the hook's very important as well, so if you can really tell a fade if it's even and level at the hook. So when you look when the client looks straight in the mirror, he's instantly going to know if that fade is level, or if it needs a little bit more work, or it needs a bit more symmetry. So it's just always good to keep cross-referencing here, because that's where we're looking. As long as this is all married up and it looks equal, that's what you're looking for. We've got one guard, it's on the clipper. I'm going to put it in a 1.5 position so it's fully open. And now we're going to go a little bit lower than we did with the 1.75, and we're still going to be flicking out. This sounds so easy, isn't it? But it's so hard to do. Okay, now we're going to go to a 1. We've still got the 1 guard on. We're going to fully close it so it's in a 1 position, closed. And now we're going to start flicking out. Now this is a very important guard, because sometimes you don't need to blend between a 1 and a 0.5, because there's a guard in between called the 0.5 guard, and you can move between a 1 and a 0.5 with that guard. But some hair, i.e. light hair, doesn't need that guard. So at this point now you're going to decide whether you're happy with it blending in with a 1 or whether you're going to use that guard. So we've got the 0.5 guard on, and we're going to put it in a half closed position, and now this is where we're going to start knocking out that bit of weight and manoeuvring between a 1 and a 0.5. Be reserved with this. It's easy to go too far up and then all of a sudden you've got a line in it. You have to move the whole fade up.
You'll do that plenty of times, right?
Yeah.
No doubt about it, man.
Yeah, we've all done it, mate. We've all been there. Did you chase a lot of fades when you were learning? Yeah. And you end up going higher and higher, and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us. Now we're going to drop down to full closed 0.5 guard. I'm going to just take out a little bit at the bottom there. Any weight now, you can use the corner of the clipper. Anything you see on that blend line that you don't like, start to knock out with a 0.5 guard. I find as well you can put a little bit of pressure down. It helps feed the guard. Always above the occipital bone. There's a little bit of weight that just needs to be worked out. Right, now I'm looking in the mirror again. I can see there's some weight through this side here. So I'm going to take that out. I'm going to work back up here with a 1.5. I'm going to start again at the very top and just see if that blends it out. Because if you're starting at the top with guards, you're not going to put lines in, and you're finally eventually going to get to a guard where you think, oh, that's taking the weight out. That's what I like about fading down.
Looking a bit Conor McGregor for them.
You are getting a bit Conor McGregor, mate.
Is it? I don't like him either.
Do you not? How can you not like Conor, mate? He's a legend. So we drop the top hair out. A lot of people would blend here at this point. I like to match this hair to that hair and then blend it out. I always find that you end up with a bit of a wedge or a step or a bit of disconnection otherwise. So we're just going to comb the hair. It's naturally going to sit. So we're going to take it out the horseshoe. Crown's going to sit naturally now how it would normally sit. And we're going to cut the hair in that shape. So we're going to take a section at the back, and we're just going to point cut and give some nice texture through that. I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to use the back section as a guide. We want to go slightly longer towards the front as well.
Well, you graduate.
We're graduating towards the front. It's going to help give the haircut a nice kind of shape as it comes over.
Right, yeah.
Otherwise it ends up, if you cut too short at the back, it will always have a weird shape, man. It never looks good. We're going to keep the fringe solid. So I'm not going to pull up that fringe. I'm going to work out what hair needs to lie for that fringe to be nice and solid. And I think it's around there. Restyles are always fun.
Yeah.
But there's an element there of not knowing what's going to look like. Do you get what I mean with that, with somebody's hair? There's an element of whether they're going to like it or whether they're going to look like it's too short. So always just be a little bit more reserved when restyling. Would have been easy to go in there and just chop that all off. But I know now I've got a little bit of length to still work with.
Could be the end into a nice friendship, this.
That's what I'm saying, mate. That's
You know
what I'm
what I
saying. I'm going to switch to some nice big scissors. And we're going to be quite reserved with this. We're going to go about halfway, even though we might go a little bit shorter. And this is just to kind of give us somewhere to start. good to reassure the client this is not going to what the finished cut looks like. I'm so tired, man, I can't get my words out. I'll take a minute, hang on. Right, let's proceed. This is not how the fish finish. Oh, I give up. I give up. Okay, so we've cut straight through the middle. I'm going to start working now with palm to face as you come round the head. Take out some of the bulk on the sides. Again, we're using a point cut or a castle cut. We're going to push this forward. We're going to cut this hair back. You can start a little bit further out and work your way in, so that when you comb it, it kind of meets the fringe, because you don't want this to keep blowing back, because that's going to be too annoying. Yeah, it's going to be too annoying. So we want to make sure that there's a point where this hair kind of transitions to the fringe. Yeah. We're working on this corner now. I'm going to start feeding this hair in. I've combed it round, and I know I want to go a little bit shorter on the fringe. So I'm going to start just point cutting, combing down, point cutting again to the shape of the fringe. And I think we're going to take it back to about there. Okay, we're going to do the same on this side, so we're going to start joining up here. I like to cut a crop dry. I know lots of people do it wet, and it depends on the hair type really, but I just find that it makes it, I can kind of see it taking shape as I'm going, instead of it just being a load of wet hair.
Well, you think you're getting more of a natural form to it when it's dropped?
Yeah, but the thing is, people say it's harder to cut. Plus you get scissor marks.
You're weighting it down when it's dry.
Yeah, but you can also get a lot of scissor marks. I think the fringe, you always need to cut the fringe when it's dry, because you need to know that's sitting. Yeah, the bounce. It can always be a lot shorter when it's dry as well. So it gives you that inside look of how's this going to end. Whereas if it's wet and you're cutting it, you just don't know how it's going to end up, do you?
Because it's getting dragged down. Exactly.
It'll take maybe a day or so for it to kind of drop to how it's going to sit for the rest of the time that you've got this crop. It's the same with a beard. A beard can go into a bit of shock. It can be a bit like, whoa, and it kind of just goes, shh, but it'll settle nice. I've had the same on my crop that just happened. We're going to switch to scissor over comb. Nice 7-inch scissor makes this easier. Some people use a smaller scissor. I think it's time consuming if you're using this really small scissor and you're trying to cover a lot of area. I'd go for a bigger scissor than this if I could, but you kind of lose the control with the bigger the scissor. What kit have they given you at college?
I've got some with me to be fair.
I heard that they upgraded the kit at that college.
I've got cordless wall clippers.
Oh mate, that was never around when I was doing it. I had the bulkiest pair of clippers you've ever seen. So a lot of people struggle here with connecting this to this. So I always find if I can pull back, keep the fringe nice and solid, I can trim there in line with the fade. Feel weird?
I feel like that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Feel less homeless as well, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a nice nice clean cut, mate. It's nice as well to just be able to clean up. Now this is the good bit of this. This is the fun bit. So I've moved back up to a 1.5 guard, and I've got it in a fully open position, and I'm just perfecting the fade. So this is what I mean by coming back to things. If you see things in different lights or somebody puts something out, just go back, do a little bit more on it, and you'll get it to sit nice. As you can see, if it looks like the hair's been cut to this point, so we need to sort of thin this out and give the illusion that it's been cut all the way forward, but we couldn't take bulk out of it. So we're just trying to texture up and make that hair all different lengths at the front. I'm going to pull a few sections up now, start to twist and cut. All through the crown we're doing the same. So you don't want it to be too kind of uniformed, but you want it to kind of be organised chaos. Is a good way, good descriptive word for it. Right, how's that feeling?
Beautiful.
Feeling a lot nicer, a lot more controlled, yeah? Okay, cool. Right, it's just going to be a clipper shape up on the beard. I'm just going to mark the line out on the bottom first. Okay, so we're going to remove the bulk from below that line now. Find it easier to make a nice straight line when the bulk's removed, because the line from the hair can kind of throw you off. So if you take off this first, you've only got one line to work on. Okay, now just gonna work down this line. Take a little bit from the top of the tash, but only a touch. Don't get too deep there, just tidy it up. And then take a bit from the bottom line as well. Hey, that is looking good, bro. It's looking good, man. Quite nice, that is. Hey amigos, it's Dave Banks here from General Rose Club in the UK. Just to let you guys know that on the 11th and 12th of March, I'm going to be heading out to Beardbrand HQ, Austin, Texas. Myself, Jake the Barber, OD Fades are going to be offering haircuts and beard trims. And also, it's a great opportunity to connect with the likes of Eric, Carlos and Greg. It's a good beard, Greg. If you need tickets, Sylvester is the hookup, or you can reach out to support@beardbrand.com. See you there.
Not gonna lie, I bet you thought that you weren't gonna see me around anymore. Well, it's true. If you want to see me around, you gotta head over to Beardbrand Alliance. Otherwise, if you hate me, stick around here at Beardbrand. I'm not here anymore.